Alright, we know how to sketch an exponential function. Now, how do you find the equation of one? So, stemming from our standard form of y is equal to a dot b to the power x plus q, there are three things that need to be found in order for the equation to be completed: a, b, and q. Basically, if they ask you to find the equation of a function and it's an exponential function, we need to find those three values. Now, some cases are where if you look at number one here, they give you one of these values. So here they give us a value of p. So this is the first case, and the way we're going to solve it, I'm going to show it to you now. There's still a second case where they could have given you the value of a, and the third case where they don't give you anything. Now, let's check how we're going to do the first one. So the first one, what we notice is that we're given this thing here. What is this called? That is the asymptote, the horizontal asymptote. So this value can simply go straight for our q value. So y is equal to a dot 2 to the power x plus 2. Now, what do we do? So see this coordinate here? Well, that's useful. You can take it and sub it into this equation. So the coordinate is -2 and 1. This has an x value and a y value. So put 1 for the y, a dot 2. The x value is -2 plus 2. So equals. Now we're going to start simplifying. So by the way, what can 2 to the -2 be written as? So that is 1 over 2 squared, which is 1 over 4. So it's a times 1 over 4. So a over 1 times 1 over 4. Let's move this 2 across, right? So I know it's a bit tricky, but let's do it at the same time. So if that 2 moves across, it'll become 1 minus 2. So -1 is equal to a over 4. So you multiply across like this here. Alright, so a times 1 is a and 1 times 4 is 4. You can put this over 1 and cross multiply, so you'll get a is equal to -4. Now that you have these values, you just write your final equation. Y is equal to -4 dot 2 to the power x plus 2. And that's your equation for that exponential graph. So this was if you were given one of these points. So recap, what did we do? We took our asymptote and just subbed it in for q. You took one of the points that were given, you subbed it into the equation to find the value for a, and then you put that back in to get your final equation. Alright, let's try it again. At this point, I would highly recommend you just take the leap and try and do this. Even if you get it wrong, it's alright. Just try it on your own. So we'll begin with this -6 straight for q. So y is equal to 2 dot b to the power x minus 6. Then you have a coordinate here. What is this coordinate? It's -1 and 0. That's an x-intercept. So we can sub this in. So our y value is 0 equals to 2 dot b to the power -1 minus 6. Now the 6 can go across and become a +6. 2 over b, because the b has a negative exponent, you can bring it to the denominator. Then you put that over 1 and cross multiply. So 6b is equal to 2, and then you divide both sides by 6, and then b is equal to 1 over 3. So your equation here is y is equal to 2 dot 1 over 3 to the power x minus 6. Alright, for this last one now, we haven't given us anything. We're going to start from the same equation and check now. So we have 2 points, if you haven't noticed. It's this one, which is at the origin, and this 2 and -3, and we have the asymptote. So let's start with the asymptote. Goes there. Alright, next let's use this point. This is a good point because it has a bunch of zeros. So even though we have multiple points, if you chose a different point first, it's fine. It's just that by using points that have zeros first, they're a bit easier to work with, especially if the x value is a 0 in the exponential graph. So let's see why I'm saying that. If you put this point in, you get 0 equals to a dot b to the power 0 plus 1. Now what happens here? Because you've got b to the power 0, this whole thing is eliminated. So instead of having two unknown variables, this is eliminated and you have only one unknown variable. So you have 0 is equal to a times 1 plus 1. So a is equal to -1. So you ended up solving for something because one of those variables got eliminated. So now we're at a better position. We're at y is equal to -1, b to the power x plus 1. And then we can go ahead and use this point at this stage to find the b value. So let's put 2 and -3. So -3 is equal to -1, sorry, b squared plus 1. So the -1, the plus 1 goes across and becomes -1. -4 is equal to -1 dot b squared. Divide both sides by -1. 4 is equal to b squared. If you square root this, b is equal to positive or -2. But remember, we said b is always going to be a positive value. So y is equal to -1 dot 2 to the power x plus 1. Alright, and that's how we find the equation for our exponential graph.